Alrighty, guys. So this is basically going to be a part one of either two or three. So the next 3 weeks will be about this sale. It's a big anniversary sale. 51 years, I believe, this shop has been in business, which is insane. Many have come and gone, but it's one of my favorite shops in Pittsburgh. I won't name them. Shouldn't be too hard to figure out, but I I spent some money. I didn't spend as much as I thought I was going to, but it was nice just looking through all those books. But before we get to the main attraction here, we're going to get to our two from the tomb. So this week I was watching Psychotronics, one of his latest vids. Check out his link down below. But he was showing a Detective Comics from the early 600s. I believe it was like 604, 605. It's part of the Mud Pack storyline. That was one of my favorite storylines when I was a kid. Just just good memories of buying that off the old news rack. That was before I even knew about comic shops or anything like that. So I figured I'd show. Norm Brayfogle did the art and the cover art for that book, and I figured I'd show another classic. So this is Detective Comics issue 596 with the Norm Brayfogle art. Uh, Norm Brayfogle will always be my Batman artist. He's the one where I started collecting, and he was the artist on Detective Comics. As I was, like I said, buying this off the old news shelf at Page 3 in Bloomfield, Pittsburgh. Those familiar with the area back in the 90s, or late 80s. But I just always loved his version of Batman. So I always had Norm Brayfogle, and of course I had Jim Aparo. So those are my two Batman artists that I grew up with. When I really got into like basically having a pull list for Batman, I wasn't buying it off the shelf anymore. Jim Aparo was still doing a lot of the artwork and a lot of the cover work for that. So those two will always be my favorites. A lot of people talk about Neal Adams and stuff like that. And granted, for being honest, Jim Aparo is from that Neal Adams school there. But Norm Brayfogle was a little bit different. So he will always stand out to be my number one Batman artist. I did a video a couple years ago. I'll try to leave a link down below if I remember. Where I did like top 5 Norm Brayfogle covers. And I got some original art in that video that I show off too, so that's this week's Two from the Tomb. Just a little trip down memory lane. So like I said, big sale this past week, or by the time this video comes out, it might be, who knows when. Anyways, ended towards the middle of April. I was trying to get some stuff off my pull list, or not my pull list, my want list. But it seems like a lot of the issues that I've been wanting a little bit more pricier, and they're a little bit harder to find. So couldn't fill any of the holes in my Batman run, because I'm not going that low yet. I'm still trying to get 151 out of the way, so before I start going underneath 150. But I did manage to find a couple of cool things. I ended up picking this up for, I believe it was $1. This is a Bad Boy. It was I think I only paid $1 for it because it was 50% off, or no, 60%. So I think I only paid like 80 cents for it. But I just, of course, got Simon Bisley. Like Elbow says, nobody beats the biz, man. And then you got Frank Miller writing this. I never even heard of this. I actually messaged Elbow about this to see if he even heard about this, and I believe he said the kayfabe guys did something on it. So definitely gonna read this first. Fortunately, I didn't get a chance to catch up on a lot of reading due to some issues. If I missed some of your vids, I'm sorry. But But I had never even seen this before, and you'd think this would have been on my freaking radar because I'm a huge Frank Miller fan. Either that, I just don't remember anything about it. As much as a Simon Bisley fan and a Frank Miller fan that I am. Yeah, it was $2.50, and it was got it for like 60% off. So I got it for under $1, I believe, or right at $1. A bad boy. I'll definitely be doing what you read in PZ on this. So we'll stick with the magazine format then. Ended up picking up Conan Saga issue number 13. I've been seeing a lot of Conan mags and comics throughout YouTube. So Conan's one of those things I really don't care to get the whole collection or anything like that. But I do like a little snippet, a little spice or whatever you want to call it. Like just get to read an issue of it, then I'm good for like 6 months. So this will be good for another 6 months. I think I got about probably about total of maybe 6 or 7 Conan mags. And like I said, I just every once in a while I'll have to go back and I'll find one dirt cheap, and I paid I think it was like $2 for this. Pretty decent condition. But of course, it has an ape on it, so I definitely had to buy that issue. I think I got one more mag here, comic mag. Pick this up. Figured it'd look nice on the old shelf there. This is Punisher magazine, issue number 1. I've never even seen this before. I've seen later issues of the magazine, but of course, got a Mike Zeck cover on it. And what this does here, let's open this bad boy up. Make sure I don't get no tape on it. So it reprints chapter 1 of basically the miniseries, the 5-issue miniseries. So this issue right here, you see. I have the single issues of all these issues, but I wasn't gonna break them out to do this. There you go. But I like I don't know what you guys, the black and white. This again, it was originally printed on newsprint. Uh, yeah, my copy's well loved. There you go, you can see. But yeah, that's for $2. I figure I had to pick that up. You can just see. I think Mike Zeck's pencils even look even better without any color. I mean, I've never seen this in black and white before. His artwork. I guess I have. I think it's Punisher magazine issue number. It's either 7 or 8. Reprints that Daredevil issue. But yeah, that was my magazines. So let's get to the actual comics here. Do a couple of these here. Ended up picking up issue 118, Green Lantern. So that takes me all the way from 93 issue 93, 90, 92 or 93, all the way up to 193 or something like that. So I got basically a 100 issue run now of Green Lantern. So I gotta start filling in some of the higher number. I should be able to find the like a couple of the issues from like 190 to 200. I think there's like 4 or 5 issues I need. Those are all dollar bin books. I mean, Vencio, but wanted to get this one out of the way because it was just 118 and right in the middle of a 100 issue run I'm missing. Of course, it's a Green Lantern co-starring Green Arrow, issue 118. Was able to pick up another part of Captain Harlock from the Gibson Dunn run. This is issue 8. So I'm getting pretty close to finishing this run up. This is the only run I want. I don't really want. There's a couple other runs. Even the newest one I think came out like a year or two ago. Just have no interest. I'm really only interested in this this volume from the early 90s. If you've never seen inside of it, but I love the black and white. I guess you would consider this like the American manga style. There's Ben Dunn's other, or I guess what he's probably well known for Ninja High School. But yeah, I'm only, I think, 3 more issues away from completing this run. But I found this for 40 cents. So. Ended up finding this for, I believe it was, I can look on the back and tell you what I paid for it. Paid $1.50 for it. And this is Weasel from Fantagraphic Books. They always put out some crazy stuff. And I had to pick it up just for that reason. Dave Cooper book here. Yeah, I was reading a little bit of it to see if I really wanted to buy it. It's as crazy as you probably think it might be. It's real weird. So it's definitely a PZ pickup. Got a book here, but I can't show it. This is going out to some guy in Denver. Eventually, when I get some stuff ready, I won't mention who it is. But it's Terra, Witch of the Black Rose. Thanks to Mr. Rigor Morris. I've been just going back, and anytime I see anybody putting women in a cat suit on definitely got to pick it up. That was last week's or the weeks before's too from Tim. We'll take a look in here real quick. I'm not sure how much I can show of it. But yeah, it's got everything a Jim Blunt comic would have that you would want out of one. Let's see here. Speaking of Jim Blunt, picked up Lobo's Big Babe Spring Break Special. Might have to do a more in-depth video on this one. But it's by Alan Grant and Jim Blunt. UPC, there you go. That's what I think of your UPCs. The only UPC I really like. But yeah, the Lobo books of the 90s, especially the one-shots. Not the one-shots, but the miniseries, and the one-shots, of course. But I really didn't. I lost interest when his ongoing series came out. I just didn't think it would be. I think he lost sort of his charm. You know, you get 4 issues. You know, the storyline's over. You can move on with your life. You know, ongoing for like 60 some issues with Lobo. It just would have worn thin, I believe. I even thought that back in the day, but I always loved picking up these one shots that he did. They need to bring him back, but if I remember correctly, this got the a sleepaway camp ending here. What time we got here? Yeah, I got enough time to do maybe one or two more. Oh, I picked up a trade paperback too. Drew Hayes, Poison Elves. I've never read any of the Poison Elves books. Um, this is Requiem for an Elf. I'm assuming because it's reprinting issues 1 of 6 of the original series. So yeah, I believe this is the first 6 issues. So it's a good starting point. But I was just flipping through here at that store, and like I said, I only paid it was 50% off, and it was $5. I paid $2.50 for it. But I'm glad I got the first part. And the first part of it's basically like originally what I guess a graphic novel would have been. Graphics in the background. But this I can't wait to read. To be honest with you, I was so happy when I saw that because I was like, I never read any of those books, and now I can get a chance to read it. Got some cool. Almost reminds me of like the Verotic lyric books for Danzig. Danzig's lyrics books. Yeah, there's 2 volumes of that, and there was one for Death Rider and the Countess book also that they would, have lyrics or something written. Then they'd have a full page of art by like Simon Bisley that was doing the art in those books. So it sort of got the side of that same vibe. All right, let's see. We'll do one more here, then I'll save the rest of these. I was able to pick up another Marvel Tales. This is issue number 140. It was at the printing of Spider-Man number 3. Take a quick look inside. Who knows, it might be signed by Stan Lee. I've read this story like multiple times through like trade paperbacks and different things like that, but nothing beats the classic newsprint. The way that these stories were meant to be, were made for, basically. Uh, just like I believe some horror movies and some kung fu movies and stuff are only good on VHS because it was made for that format with in mind when they were making it, filming it. So I'm always a big fan of if I can find like reprints and newsprint versions. Don't get me wrong, I like the trade paperbacks, but this is this is badass. So another one off the old Marvel Tales. I'm trying to get like issues 1 through, I don't know, at least 1 through 15 of the Marvel Tales. I believe it starts at 134. Thing is, I'm kicking myself is because I could have had the reprints of Amazing Fantasy 15 and issue number 1 for real cheap back a couple months ago, and then I went back to the same shop and they were long gone, of course. But yeah, that was my part of my haul for this big sale. But I guess I'll show what I bought off the rack in last week's books this week. So first up, we got Gunslinger, part of that connecting cover, which I'm now going to find. Good to buy the Scorched one, even though I haven't been collecting after the last like 10 or so issues. But Gunslingers, yeah, I keep telling people, if you're gonna collect one series of Spawn, man, this is it. Look at this, man. What an opening page, man. Brett Booth has been killing it on this book. I hope Todd has him signed on for like the next 100 issues or so, because this needs to, he needs to stay on this book. So yeah, that was my only book that I had on my pull list this week. I was able to find another issue of Batman and the Joker, the Deadly Duo. Raved about the first issue. Again, if you haven't picked it up, I highly suggest it. After issue 1, I can't really recommend it because I haven't read it yet, because I'm still trying to hunt down issues 2, 3, and 4. This was at book 5, so, and I'm trying to get all cover A's with the Silvestri art on it, because I don't have, but there is a Simon Bisley cover coming out for issue 7, so if you're, so I might have to double dip on that, which I hate freaking doing. But the last one I picked up was Frank Miller's book, Ronin Book 2. This has been out for at least a month or two now, and I totally forgot about it, so I picked it up. Probably the reason I forgot about it was because of this $7.99 price tag, but damn, $10.99 in Canada, holy shit. But I enjoyed the first issue. Philip Tan's art, you can tell where like Frank Miller was influential on what pages and stuff. It's not that hard to figure out. But I think Philip Tan's been doing a decent job on this book. I haven't really checked out any of the other Frank Miller universe, or whatever you want to call this, FMP books, but I'll definitely give them a try when I find them in the dollar bin. I ain't trying to pay no $7 or $8 for a book. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Check out the links down below if you enjoy this kind of content. There's a bunch of guys down there that been killing it as of late. There's some guys on there that haven't been around for a while. Maybe sub them up. Leave them a comment. Maybe they'll come back. We needed some of them guys back. So definitely check out those links down below for me. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time.